We're on.
I'm just reading now.
Yeah, I know, but remember we're supposed to be following our rules. What's our first rule? Do one thing at a time, finish what you start, and don't start anything you can't finish. We've got a TV show to do now.
Yeah, we'll zoom in a bit, eh?
Hi everybody, it's Nikki and Con from ConikiTV and welcome to the ConikiTV show. This week we're going to touch on the subject of the secret to success in anything. So,
Sorry, what was that again?
the secret to success in anything.
At anything.
Oh,
In anything.
Okay, in anything, at anything, on anything, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
So, what is the secret to success at anything?
Well, put quite simply, this is a book, and the book contains a lot of pages, a lot of information. A lot of people out there, or let me call them derelicts, are out there who are drunk on information, right? But unless you do something with what you know, nothing changes. And everyone's got all this knowledge, but the ability to apply knowledge is where true power comes from. So this is episode 5 of the ConikiTV show, and we've shown people quite a lot of things over the last 4 episodes, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, yes.
So we tried to think of a title that we could apply to this one. And what did we come up with?
Oh, quite a few titles there.
So what do we say? So the secret to success at anything. At anything. That's a huge statement. So in other words, we reckon, actually we know for a fact, and we encourage you to prove us wrong because you can't, that we have the secret to success at absolutely anything. So it doesn't matter what it is that you want, what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to achieve. If you apply this secret, or what we call the secret, you will be able to achieve whatever you want. So what is that, Nikki? What is the secret to success? Like we did discuss what sort of person you got to be, what sort of attitude you got to have, whether you're a winner or a loser, a person with a stuff it mentality or a go-getter thing. Do you constantly fill your brain with information and actually do something with it? Do you complain a lot, or do you look for solutions to your problems rather than problems to your solutions? So in other words, if you're offered an opportunity to do something, do you look at why you can't do it, what's wrong with it, every reason why you shouldn't do it? Or are you the sort of person to look at the strength of the opportunity, how it can help you, what benefits come from it, like what sort of a person are you, right? So the secret to success at anything, we came up with the fact that you must have two things in order to be successful at absolutely anything. Whatever it is that you choose, you can be successful at it as long as you have these two things.
And money is not one of them.
That's right.
Okay, so the first thing is, which we covered briefly last week on our show, the first rule is, do one thing at a time. Finish what you start, and don't start anything you can't finish. What does that mean? What does that mean? It's simple. Do one thing and do it well. Because what happens is, we all get into this, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and we try and do 10 things, 100 things, 5 things, and you don't really do any of them well, okay? Instead of making a decision saying, I'm going to do one thing, okay? One thing right now, I'm going to finish it, and then when I finish that, I'm going to start my next project, okay? That is one of the secrets.
But you can't do any one thing unless you know what it is that you want to do. A lot of people don't know what they want. They know what they like. And we like a lot of things, but we don't really want anything. So I always say this, how do you know what you want if you don't already have it? Because if you found what you wanted, you would hang on to it like there would be no tomorrow, right? You would never let go. So if you know what you want, when you come across it, this primitive desire comes over you that drives you to get it, and you do not stop. Like a first love, for example. you know, you see someone and he's just puppy love, as they say. I suppose you don't use that term anymore nowadays. But back in our day, 1920 and 1930, when we were spring chickens, you know, that was an important thing. But yeah, you know, when you find something you love, it just makes you feel good. Okay, when you know that, when you get that feeling, believe me, that feeling is so good, you will not let it go. So the thing is, how do you know what you want if you don't already have it, right? When you find it, you'll hang on to it. So people like a lot of things, but we don't know what we want. If you like a lot of things, you're never truly satisfied, because you like something for a little bit and something else comes in which you like
something
a bit more.
Bigger, better, faster.
And you go after that. And what you do is you're on this perpetual path in life of trying different things, and you're always judging them. And you're choosing what you like about that one as opposed to, you know, the other one, right? But you're not really picking any one thing at all. Okay? So you're always going from one thing to another, never doing one thing for long enough, right? You're not building your wall and getting over it, as I say. And that's the only way you can get further on in life. So you've got to know what you want. And the only way you can find out what you want is to basically stay still. Stay still, look things very simply, and decide, like, what do you like about the simplest things in life? Forget about material possessions and stuff like that. Like, how do you like to sleep? How do you like to sit? What do you like talking about? You know, if you were in a room and there was nothing there except conversation, could you actually hold one? You know, like, do you have an opinion about anything? What sort of opinions do you actually have? Are you argumentative all the time, or do you have to prove, you know, the other person, you know, wrong, or do you have to always prove yourself right? Like, you have to back off from that and just look at, you know, what is it that makes you up, and look at the simple things in life and allow yourself to move on, building a wall from all your achievements. So each brick is an achievement. And you don't throw them away. That brick gets laid upon each other, and eventually you build a wall that's big enough for you to climb over it and get to the next place. But you never break down your walls, right? Okay, so the first thing is do one thing at a time. Finish what you start, and don't start at anything you can't finish. You must know what you want first.
That's right. You have to know what you want, but you also need to stick at it for long enough so you can complete it. Whether it's, you know, reading a book, studying a course, you know, cooking dinner, whatever it might be, you need to start it, you need to finish it, and then move on from there. Doesn't mean you can't go back to something, but you need to complete that. You can't leave all these open, you know, tins of worms.
Or cans of worms.
Or cans of worms, yep. And just leave them open because it gets very messy, okay? You need to put the lids back on. So, start it, finish it. Set yourself some goals, and they don't have to be huge goals, but whatever you do, you need to complete it. Then that's the test of a true person, a true successful person, because they stick at it till they've completed it. At the end of the day, if you decide that that wasn't for you, or you didn't get out of it what you thought, it doesn't matter. At least you gave it a proper go.
Right, so after 8 minutes of video, what you guys should know now is that the first part to the secret of success is that you must know what you want. And when you know what you want, like, and pick the simplest thing, that whatever you choose, right, do one thing, do it and it only, until you finish whatever it is that you chose to do, and do not even begin to think about choosing anything else until that job is done. So what does that mean? If you make a mistake, well, deal with it. Pay the consequences of that mistake. See it to the end. Keep going until you do what you're supposed to do. That's the honourable thing to do. By doing that, you'll earn respect. And when you're honourable, you're a person of your word, and you earn respect, people will begin to trust you, right? Then opportunities come your way. So the first part of the secret of success, after 9 minutes of our video now, is to do one thing at a time, finish what you start, and never start anything that you cannot finish. Commit to it and be consistent all the way through. So that's the first thing. So you must do what you want. A lot of people have trouble figuring out what they want. Keep it simple. If you're going to choose to eat something today, and you don't like it, well, finish it. If you go to the video store and rent the latest DVD and you don't like it, well, sit there and watch it until you finish it. And then next time, maybe you'll choose better. If you make a mistake in life and it ends up in a mess, you pay for it. Don't walk away from it. You made the choice. You pay for it. Accept full responsibility. And by doing that, you're honouring your agreement. You're earning the respect of others, and hence people will begin to trust you. And that means you start attracting things in your life. So that's the first part. So what's the second part to the secret to success at absolutely anything? Assuming you've done the first one.
Well, assuming you've done the first one, the second one is you can do anything you want. Anything. As long as it doesn't hurt anyone or anything, including yourself.
So when you choose to do anything, what does that? So if you have this sensation that you want something, you've got to ask yourself a question, and that is that question.
Yeah. Are you hurting yourself? Are you hurting anybody else or anything?
And if the answer is yes at all, in any way, you're breaking rule number 2, and consequently rule number 1 cannot exist without it, and you will fail. You might not fail straight away, you might win in the short term, but the cost of that win is so great that you'll pay for it for the rest of your life, and it will be much dearer than the cost of actually not doing it. We call that opportunity cost. So when you're sitting here and you're doing something, like you sitting here watching us talk now, listening to us talk and expanding your mind, the opportunity cost of doing this is that you could be over there maybe watching TV. So the opportunity cost of listening to us is watching TV, and the opportunity cost of people watching TV is that they cannot listen to us. Yeah? Next.
Yeah. So those are really the 2 rules that if you follow and really believe in them, you can achieve what you want, okay? Start with a goal, whatever it is. That's what you've got to do. Start with a goal, decide where you want to go in any aspect of your life, and then you need to move towards that. But it's like when you go bowling and you've got the, what are they called? You know, the ones that come up and the ball goes back and forth, so it keeps you in the lane. Well, the rules are like those runners on the sides of your bowling alley, and they're keeping the ball in, okay? They're keeping you on track, and they're setting you up for success. And that's what you need to do. You need to follow those rules and believe in them. Yeah,
so look, your gut feeling will tell you what you want. Whatever it is that comes into your head, and you're about to make a choice, because you're making choices right now. And in 5 minutes after this video finishes, you're going to be making more choices. Before you actually execute that choice and turn it into action, ask yourself the question: am I hurting anyone, anything, or myself by fulfilling that desire? That's it. So whatever pops into your head, and if the answer is yes in any way at all, the answer for you is no. You don't look at that, you look at the next one. And by doing that, you will truly find what you truly want. If the answer is yes to that question, they're things that you like. And usually, the things that you like are the things that harm you. Like rubbish food, for example, or sitting down on the couch the whole day rather than getting up and exercising, or not being bothered to socialise with your friends. Instead, you socialise via computer. Nothing wrong with that, but if that's all you do, right, well then there's imbalance. You are harming yourself. So think of that. Whatever comes into your head, ask yourself question number 2. Am I hurting anyone? Am I hurting anything? Am I hurting myself? And if the answer is yes, do not do that. Look at the next one. Let it pop into your brain and ask the same question. So you need to filter through all your desires. And what you'll find is the real ones and the ones that aren't real, the ones that harm you. Then, assuming you find one, that's where rule number 1 comes in, which is once you choose that, do that and that alone. Do not do anything else other than that, and continue doing that until you finish that. And that will then give you the personality trait of consistency, which is what all successful people display day in and day out. And consistency is what gets us there. It moves us away from where we are and towards where we want to be. And you do it every single day, and each day that passes, each minute that passes, each sale that you make, each meal that you consume, each exercise or training session that you do, each kilometer that you walk contributes to your success. So the in summary, that to succeed at absolutely anything in life at all, you need to have the secret. And the secret sits with 2 rules. And rule number 1 is, honey?
Do one thing at a time, finish what you start, and never start anything you can't finish.
If you don't understand that, watch the video again so we can explain it again. It only takes about 16 minutes, right? After that, what's the second rule?
The second one is you can do anything you want, anything, as long as you don't hurt anyone or anything, including yourself.
Now, notice how we said rule 1 and 2, but rule 2 comes before 1. Think about that for a sec. But people don't understand it like that. That's why we describe it as rule 1 and 2. You really must now that you understand this, is let's go back, think of what we want, and ask ourselves the question. The question, rule number 2. Is this harming me? Is this harming my partner, my friend, or whatever? Or is this harming the thing that I'm protecting, or my house, or something materialistic, or an event, or a circumstance?
And if it is, guess what? You
No.
need to stop.
Now back off. Choose something else.
That's
and
it.
each time, and you might sit there for a long time, realizing that your life is full of absolute emptiness because all the things that come into your head are empty things. And that's why you are where you are. If you want to move forward, you need to master that rule number 2. Then once that's done, do rule number 1. Okay, everyone buys the self-help books and looks at all these people that are successful in life and look at what they're doing. But if you don't understand how they do that, just following it won't get you there. You must understand, because if you understand, you can make great choices. And it's the choices you make in life that get you where you are. Wherever you are right now, it's your fault, good or bad or otherwise, right? You made those choices. It's the whole point is about making better choices. And that's what that means. Rule number 2 is about making better choices. So I hope we've answered that one for you. So that's episode 5 of the ConikiTV show. And
Excellent.
we'll be back again next week. And next week what we want to do is talk a little bit more about food, and in particular portion sizes, like how much should we eat and why and all that sort of stuff.
That's a big one, that one.
Yeah, and we'll actually show that to you. A lot of people should tune in for that. Go back and watch episodes 1 to 4 before this one. Even though you might have seen this, watch them again. They all flow into each other. Well, I'd like to say I'm Con.
I'm Nikki.
And thank you very much once again for watching the ConikiTV show. We'll see you again next week, same time.
See you next week. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.